Hi guys, I'm Ray. I'm reading and reviewing art books so that you and I can continue our art education at home. I'm going to be talking about this book, Oil Painting Secrets from a Master by Linda Cateura. I don't know how to pronounce her last name in all honesty. Though it is written by Linda, it is not about Linda. It is about somebody called David A. LaFell. Somebody who might really like the art in this book is going to be someone who is focusing mostly on dark, moody, atmospheric, baroque almost still lifes, very classical, dark still lifes. Some portraitures, particularly like nude portraiture, portraits of the full human body, the female body, in the nude, very baroque style, very impasto. So if that is not your art style, then this might not be the book for you. However, if you're eager to learn more from somebody who was classically trained, has classic speech, and can give you that vibe of like art school without having to pay to go to art school, you still might gain something from this book. This is a paperback version of the book, though there is a hardcover option. The hardcover option is currently, as of this video, going for $71.35. On Amazon, the paperback new version is going for $20.08, and I purchased this used paperback for $13.19. To confuse you a little bit more, for some reason this book has a sticker on it that says $5.99, which is not what I paid, but kind of what I wish I paid, to be honest. I mean, who doesn't want to spend $5.99 instead of, twice that much? You're looking at like 130 pages of readable content. It was published in 1995, which makes this book as old as me. We are talking 28 years old. If you want 28-year-old knowledge, up to you. There's plenty of things to learn from people from previous decades, previous lifetimes. I'm not saying you won't. I am saying, though, in general, on a physical level, this is a very outdated book. And you're going to see that presented in terms of the color printing. Now, this could also just be the style of the artist, but these are not saturated, high chromatic pictures. They all have this vibe of being kind of like sun faded and bluish and green. Read the whole thing front to back, and there was still a ton of information I learned from this book, and I'm going to keep it because some of that information is invaluable to me, and I took about 3 pages worth of notes. This is clearly somebody who has been technically taught, and they are going to, in the same breath, tell you there is a right and a wrong way to do this, to do X, to do Y, to do Z. I'm picking and choosing what I'm taking away from this book. Number one, because I don't even really like the artist's art, and I think it's really important when buying a book to study from about painting or drawing, you want to make sure that the person you're learning from is somebody you actually look up to and admire their work, love their work, and they have qualities in their work that you yourself are trying to replicate or reproduce or embody. A lot of this book is broken down into bullet points and not like having to read constant paragraphs. I really enjoyed that. I'm walking away with a really 50-50 take on this book. Some of the information was absolutely fantastic. I really enjoyed and believe in when he says, like, when you're starting a painting, you need to start your painting seriously from the second you start to the second you finish. At the exact same time, you need to be willing to risk it all and destroy it at any given moment. Like, that is just how you need to approach every painting. I believe that to my core. That is something I take into my own practice. At the exact same time, he says something like, each and every single stage of your painting needs to be beautiful. It needs to be aesthetic. And if it's not, you're doing it wrong. I personally do not believe that. I think that is a toxic mindset. And I think that gatekeeps a lot of people from painting, and because they think they're struggling because it's not coming out pretty right away or aesthetic right away, and it's going to hinder them from continuing their art practice because of that. I don't believe in that. That's not something I'm taking with me. So this book was very much polarizing in that way to me. My favorite piece of information that I'm walking away from this book with is that when you're trying to get different values of black, instead of adding white, add a warm tone to darken it or a cool tone to lighten it. If you add white, you're just going to create different values of gray, not necessarily different values of black. And that seems kind of obvious when it's spoken aloud, but it's something that never occurred to me, even though I observed it happening. So a warm black is going to be darker than a cool black. A cool black is going to have a lighter or less intense value as a warm black. So let me know if you have this book, if you would read this book, if you get this book, and overall what you think of my review of this book.